Welcome in. Today is Monday, May 19th, and while the Colorado Rockies are out, we'll tell you who's in, maybe. Also in golf, of course, checking in with golf. The top names are doing what you'd hope they'd do, and why the WNBA is flagrant.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
Seriously, not even Memorial Day yet, and we have to talk about the WNBA.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots. Welcome, sinners. This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Yes, another Monday. It is Sports Idiot Nation, the weekly recap show that comes to you not once, but twice. That is dos in Spanish for those of you who hable español. Sports Idiot Nation comes to you via YouTube, of course, the best way to watch, and we are on Apple and Spotify. I am Adam Reno, joined as always with T.I. and Miles Behind Enemy Lines. As humanly possible, I am joined by T.I. and Miles Behind Enemy Lines.
What's going on right now? I don't know what's going on right now.
It's weird that all three of us are here.
Yeah. You love to see it. People are asking how much more often we can stay together. People are asking.
People are asking. Mainly these three.
Yeah. Mainly your wives. Are you still doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You still have to do that?
Are you guys making money from that yet? Okay, because you told me that you would. Yeah, you told me you would.
Yeah. Why are you still a poor?
We just need to make a Caitlin Clark t-shirt and just
we're
ride off into the sunset.
One fighting the other. Cartoon faces though, so no name, image, and likeness. Cartoon faces them fighting.
Little tweak.
That's a flagrant thing to say. All right, let's open there, because I always like to say, make sure that you follow us on social media wherever you get your social media, and we got to point out our number one X Twitter post, tweet, whatever, that went viral last year was a Caitlin Clark post, and then our biggest YouTube short to date is, of course, to the chagrin of a one Miles Behind Enemy Lines, is on Caitlin Clark. So let's start there. I want to get into the NBA's Final Four. I'm super excited about the players left in the Final Four for the NBA.
Are you more excited for the WNBA? I mean, excuse me. Are you more excited for the NBA playoffs or the opening of WNBA?
Oh man. Well, the opening of WNBA has a chance to actually pay us because people literally are talking about it. So I'll say the WNBA for 500, Alex.
It's okay. It's okay to say that as long as you do it for the money.
Right.
That's right.
That and let's start there, and let's first of all put aside the notion that women should be paid the same amount as the men, because they're still harping on this, and I don't understand.
They don't understand either. They don't understand either the argument. They're like,
it's like talking to a woman. Oh. All right, so
there's a famous comedian. He's so famous that I don't remember his name at the moment. But one of my all-time favorite jokes is he said, dog. My wife wanted to get a dog. I want to get a cat, so we compromised and got a dog. That's pretty much how it goes. So yeah, man. I feel you on that. But the whole argument there is are we talking about the WNBA now? Yes. Has interest risen in the last year? Yes. Is that because of Caitlin Clark? Yes. A small tidbit of it is the interactions between Angel Reese. But Angel Reese without Caitlin Clark is not carrying the WNBA the way Caitlin Clark is carrying the WNBA without Angel Reese. Let's be real. So
she's not the Robin to the Batman.
She's a minor villain. She's not even Joker, because the WNBA can't have a Joker because it's not popular enough.
No,
or making enough money yet.
She's like Scarecrow.
She's a minor villain.
That's what I was going to say. She's Scarecrow at this point. Yeah. She's working her way up the ranks. She just needs a little.
She thinks she's Penguin. She's not even Penguin.
She needs to kidnap Batman's girlfriend if she really wants to.
Angel Reese. Angel Reese is Penguin when Oswald Cobblepot was working for Fish Mooney.
Okay, that's an interesting take. I like that. That's an interesting
Either
Oswald.
that or Scarecrow.
No, I like it.
So,
so
here's what I'll say about that game. Let's
5
get
minutes
into
in, we derailed.
Right, yeah. Let's get into that game because the whole city of Indianapolis was lit, and not for the yesers. They were actually going to see Caitlin Clark. I mean, Dave Portnoy was like posting. I saw people legit that I know on Facebook who went to the game and like took a selfie with El Presidente. It's like
I saw people I know legit went to the game and bragged about it. You know, like you're like, this is the real deal. I mean,
mailman.
Right now, the state of Indiana is the state where basketball never sleeps because. I mean, between the Fever and the Pacers, you know, there's a lot of hype. Caitlin Clark's got like 4 or 5 WNBA All-Stars on her team currently. It's like she hopped right into the Illuminati, you know. They're just like, hey, guess what? We are going to introduce you to 5 straight WNBA championships and declare you the greatest female basketball players ever lived.
Shanika Holtzclaw swooping in.
Odds? What are the odds?
Back in the day, the Houston Comets who went defunct. That shows how irrelevant the WNBA became. You can win 3 or 4 straight championships, and then we're still going to contract your franchise because we're still just hemorrhaging money, and they still are. This last year,
that's the
$50 million. I was hoping between Ti and I, we're doing our best to derail this into a conversation about Batman because we'd all much rather talk about Batman than the WNBA. But
we should all take a time out and do our best. I'm Batman, and then move on. So, Adam, you go first.
I'm Batman.
That was good. Miles, you go.
I could barely hear him. I'm Batman.
Ooh, that's good. I'm going to try. I'm Batman.
Oh, actually, no fair. You could tell T.I. like practice that in the mirror before work. Like he has a bad day.
He had this
like,
coming.
Yeah, like
work.
He had this planned out since like
what do you guys
10 a.m. on Friday morning.
What are we doing? I'm always up at 2 and 3 a.m. Maybe I'm fighting crime. Maybe that is my night job. You don't know.
Now we have to do our best Angel Reese impression. I'm Angel Reese, and I'm the reason why the WNBA is so popular right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. We're out of time. So as we move on to let's just take out the W. Okay. And I'm excited, seriously. So let's think about this. There is Tyrese Halliburton. There's Jalen Brunson. There's the Ant-Man, not Batman, but there is an Ant-Man.
Yes.
And
universe.
Then there's a MVP. We know he's going to win MVP. Shea Gillis, right? Shane Gillis. Yeah.
Yeah. Shane. Is Shane Gillis going to win MVP? I don't think so. I would put a lot of money on that not happening.
Yeah. So that we got the Final Four. We're locked in. Miles, I'll ask you who's wearing the New York Knickerbocker, right?
There's a child. And a dog.
It's not the New York Liberty
right now.
Love it.
We have a special guest, ready to throw down in T.I.'s room.
Right.
Yep. All right.
So,
and he's out.
Exit stage left.
Good for
that was almost as fast as the WNBA's relevancy.
That's right. He just uses my office to charge his devices. So
yeah, he doesn't need you. He doesn't need you, Dad.
It's like, hey man, I know you got this like iPad charging station over here, so I'm going to go ahead and charge all my devices that he spends all my money on. Anyway.
So the Knicks, Miles, I'm going to assume out of the 4 left that's who you are either A, hoping takes the championship, or B, just has the best shot.
Well, we all know the greatest New York Knickerbocker of all time, Julius Randle, is now a Minnesota Timberwolf. So I'm hoping for 5-on-1 Julius Randle against the New York Knicks in the finals. And I said a few weeks ago, after wearing underwear on my head, I just got to give it up for the man. He's clearly destined to win NBA Finals MVP. So Julius Randle above all else.
I like it. Well, I for one
lefty swag.
I for one am rocking my New York Knicks glasses here. I chose orange. Could have went blue, because they
rhyme with door hinge.
They have two colors. But yes, as we all know, about 50 episodes ago, New York Knicks were my pick to click. So I am all in on New York. I'm all in. I would like to see a Timberwolves Knicks final, just because I'd like to see that trade pay off. Both teams get what they need out of the deal. It shows that, hey, sometimes you can trade superstars when you have certain pieces you need, and it works out for both teams. So I would like to see that. That's what I like to see. Does that mean it's going to happen? I don't know. OKC looks really good, so we'll see. But Ant-Man is looking to take that next step. He's already taken it out.
No, it's Julius Randle. No, the modern day Latrell Sprewell.
It's true.
Come on.
True.
Knicks
hey, man.
to Timberwolves. Latrell
Sprewell spinning.
Julius Randle.
He did have a triple-double. He did have a triple-double. Last week he messed around and did get a triple-double, literally. He had an ice cube.
Yeah, last week messed around and choked PJ Carlesimo. That's what Latrell Sprewell did. He reached across the desk and choked his coach, which always necessarily doesn't really work out for you. But in his situation, it worked out for him. He still stayed on the team for about 2 years, which is weird. But PJ did not. PJ Carlesimo did not stay on the team.
PJ hasn't sounded the same since. He does the college basketball radio, and every once in a while, I'm driving to maybe watch a game, so I'll turn on the radio, and there's good old PJ Carlesimo calling the game.
Yeah, I'd like to know what really happened there. I hear rumors, but I'd like to know what really happened, because you gotta really strike a chord to jump across the desk and choke your coach. Come on, that's not like, oh man, I disagree with you. That's
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump across the desk.
He said something about his mama, his cornrows.
Something for sure. Something to set him off. But
so I want to talk about this Final Four that's left, because there is I feel like there's a passing of the torch. So we have Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, names like that, right? Who we are accustomed to seeing. Well, Kawhi when he can actually suit up. But these names, big names that we're accustomed to seeing, at least in the Final Four. And now, again, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Ant-Man, SGA, Chet, like these guys, is this the new wave, or do we already think next year we will have one of those main guys that I mentioned will be back in the Final Four? Or is this the new wave? And either we can't have the attitude of get off my lawn and where's my old NBA? Is this the new NBA? And are we okay with it, Miles?
Well, you forgot to mention Julius Randle. Come on.
I actually didn't forget.
No,
new host.
It's going to continue to rotate. I think there's so much balance in the NBA anymore that we're going to see, especially with the continued injuries. And I think you brought up a good point of the league looking to reduce games. I think injuries have led us here, but I don't think that's going away anytime soon. And also that generation is only getting older. I think we've got a new wave in. I think SGA is here to stay, but I don't know that Oklahoma City is going to repeat it. Hell, they might win a championship this year, and by 2027, they're going to fire their head coach too. So that seems to be more of a trend anymore than consistency in the finals. LeBron's 93 and Steph Curry's 87. So they're all but done unless they're bench players, role players, and they have a squad around them outside the city they're in now that is going to carry them there again. It's going to be new names, and sure, these teams might sneak back in, but let's not forget the Indiana Pacers made the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and we talked about another episode. Every day, millions of Americans forget that in 2024, the Indiana Pacers were in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's not that new from that standpoint. I don't expect Boston to be gone for long. Again, the injuries happen.
Tatum.
They'll happen again, but I don't think it's going to be an every year issue for Boston. I expect them to remain at the top. But again, with them being out and being back, it's going to continue to cycle. Denver, same issues. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with LA? For either one.
But I was
Either
gonna say
one.
both
But,
of them. Both of them.
We'll see what happens with Giannis, where he ends up, because
Good call.
that's a name that might be back that we didn't bring up. We'll see what organization, what program he ends up with. I like to think, not that I want him there, but I condition myself to think he's going to end up in San Antonio, and that's going to be very scary. Hell, all three teams in Texas.
Houston's got some money.
A new homer for me.
But in Houston,
all three are going to be here to stay.
So Ti, I want to point out. Ti mentions Houston. The reason I think he won't go there is he can't shoot, and other than Van Fleet, no one else can. And
but he doesn't have to shoot. He doesn't have to shoot. I think he's going to the West, though. I think he's bored of the East.
I agree.
I think he's going to the West. I think he wants to. He wants to challenge himself. And
of the three Texas teams, Houston is the least likely that Giannis will go to.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, if he has he's going to have offers on the table for every team in the NBA. We know that. I could see the Spurs. Just because they have many draft picks. They're young. They have lots of money. They could easily put a package together that's just
they have both the liquid and personnel in terms of assets to make that trade.
Irresistible for
T.I. was checking out their package.
Yeah, I especially during the Tim Duncan era, they knew how to package some deals. But anyway,
it hangs low.
It hangs low. Hangs low.
Like San Antonio on a map.
She's
it's
tall.
low.
That reminds me.
I keep seeing all these ridiculous. Or I was going to say, I keep seeing all these ridiculous things like, don't overlook the Hawks. You know, I'm like, if Giannis goes to the Hawks, I will grow a third arm out of the center of my chest, and it'll punch me in the face because I'm a complete moron. That
and wear underwear on your head.
I did not see that coming. I mean,
that's a little bit more intense.
I mean, come on. It's like that scene from Aliens. You know, it's like, But yeah, I'm just like, I just think people are just like trying to make clicks. Some of these like clutch points and these like sites are out there. Like they have a page for every team, and they're just like, all right, let's just go ahead and make a hypothetical trade for Atlanta and post it on the Atlanta page. Let's do it for whoever. And I'm
for
just
every
like,
team, you might as well.
Yeah, I'm just like, come on, man. They're like, oh, he's going to be in Phoenix. He's pairing up with KD. It's like, no, he's not. Like
now, speaking of KD and the lack of shooting, I think KD to Houston could make sense.
Maybe
for that. I mean, you have to be able to shoot the ball from outside the paint, and Houston does not do that very well at all. They have offensive players in Dylan Brooks and some of these guys that have only been there in the league like 2-3 years. There's like 3 of them I can name. They can't shoot the ball. They just can't. Like Golden State dared them to shoot. They did the old Memphis thing with what's his face in the corner where Draymond would just not guard him. Remember? That was
Tony Allen.
Yeah, Tony Allen. I distinctly remember that. I'm sure T.I. does too. We would just not guard him, and he would have that. He would shoot it.
That ain't Ray. That ain't the other Allen. That ain't Ray.
And hey, that's how the Warriors.
He would still hit him. Y'all leave him out there.
Defensively. Defensively.
No, he's
but
good. He he would just sit out there and chuck him up. But if you go back and look at one time they were showing highlights of him in college. I think he played for Oklahoma State. But anyway, he was like freaking scoring machine, and they were showing him out there and all that. I'm like, who's that guy? I'm like, who's that? Dude, Tony Allen? I've never seen that Tony Allen.
Yeah, there's a Draymond Green of Michigan State video of that where he's like Michael Jordan.
That's what I'm saying. Like you get these guys who become these role players or these defensive specialists, but like when they're like the 1 or 2 top players on their team, you get to see them shine, you know. But
Shane Battier from Duke was like that, like just a flat out scorer, and then was just known as
he was my first.
Here's my Shane Battier.
That was my first. That was my first Grizzlies game. It was when he was a rookie. I went to played the Timberwolves first round with Kevin Garnett in Minnesota, and Jason Williams was the Grizzlies point guard. We also had Hubie Brown, I think, was the coach.
Oh, dude, when he dies, God bless that man. When he dies, we have to do a show just to Hubie Brown. That guy, he takes over a broadcast in such a weird
figure
way.
out his diet and exercise regimens, because that man has so much energy for being 465 years old.
He's like
Moses.
He's like the Doc Brown of the NBA, you know? Yeah.
Dude, his intelligence. Have you guys seen that video of him in the 70s where he's in Africa teaching bigs how to pass behind his back?
In
and
the 70s.
every pass is on point, and he's dribbling and behind his back passing the ball, no look. This is Hubie Brown in the 1970s.
Hey, man. He's a white man. He is white.
Hubie was doing a little something, and then he was like, watch his skills. Where do you think Jason Williams learned the elbow pass from?
Yeah,
he learned it from Hubie Brown. He learned it from Hubie Brown when he was his coach, dude.
I don't care how old he is. The man is Caucasian. That is the biggest surprise here. But Adam, before we go on, we have to know your pick, or who you want to win it all, and then also where you think Giannis is going to end up.
So I think San Antonio. I was definitely when you said that I was thinking that before as well. With
what we agree,
honestly, I know. Every once in a while, it like revolves, and it's like it just comes back around. And then
if it revolves, it would kind of just be like the same thing all the time, though, you know. So
I don't do science.
Chaos
I don't listen.
Yeah,
to
science.
Sorry. I can only count to 10. I don't do science.
Yeah. So I will say I know that the Thunder had like a top 5 season in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just not I'm like, okay, I don't know what it is. I swear to the good people of Sports Idiot Nation, I don't know what it is.
What about the
why
bad
I'm
ones?
not sold. Yeah,
we're
and
sinners.
the dumb ones.
We're sinners.
Yeah.
We're sinners.
So I will say, as Golden State lost, and with Steph Curry being hurt, of course, I will say I like the Julius Randle and Ant-Man connection there. So Minnesota, I want to play, and you know what? Ode to the 2000s when the Knicks and Pacers last played. I just want that to be a bloodbath, and I personally don't care who comes out of it. I think it's an amazing storyline, no matter what. If Jalen Brunson and Cat comes out of it, then hey, that's awesome to see. Yeah. New York, there's certain things, like I'll say this, like when the Red Sox, Yankees, Cubs, whatever are all good in baseball, it's good for the league. Even though I hate a majority of those teams I mentioned. In football, the Packers and Cowboys, like I hate those teams, but when they're good, it's good for football. Well, the New York Knicks, you saw videos of those fans going just completely insane. And it's good for the sport of basketball if the Mecca over there if they're good in basketball. So if they win, that means that's great, right? And if the Pacers win, it's great too.
Well, what do you think in that video of those fans would happen if somebody all of a sudden like tap one of those guys in the shoulders, like, excuse me, can you give me directions I'm trying to go to there? They'd be like, like throw him, like they would like rip him from limb to limb.
Yeah,
like,
they're all drunk, but dude, you love it. You love to see it.
Yeah,
they don't
great.
They don't do that in Oklahoma City. They're not doing that.
No, they're asleep. New York is the city that never sleeps. Oklahoma City is the city that is in bed by 8:30.
They go to bed. Yeah. Yes. Maybe that's why I'm not sold on the Thunder. What I was really hoping for in a Game 7, it'd be a better game because the marquee thing could be like the Thunderbolts and the Chicken McNuggets. But
you already thought it all through.
And then the game started.
You got a PowerPoint, don't you?
Yeah, I had it all lined up. Power to go.
I hate it for you. You probably worked on it real hard too.
So New York, I'll say that about New York, and here's what I'll say about Indiana. Hi, I live here. So like, would it be cool if I would probably go?
Yeah,
I would take one of the limos that I run here in Fort Wayne, and we'd get a group and just hang out. I mean, I'm not going to pay to go to the game, but dude, I know a ton of good spots to hang out in the atmosphere.
I do have one suggestion for the limo. Instead of running it, I recommend driving it.
I do too. unless you're like
Thought that would help.
Solid.
To a
Solid
fellow
out of here.
idiot.
Fred
You're-
Flintstone.
you are from California though. Originally.
I-69.
So-
I-69 just out there.
Yeah, you're originally from California, so you probably like to ghost the whip, So
yeah.
you're out
Just
there
ride
like
the whip.
got the car door open and you're like riding on it, posing. Like I've seen you San Franciscoites out there ghost riding.
Go watch a game in the finals of a team he doesn't care about.
Right. So we will talk more probably next Monday because we'll have a little bit of basketball under our belt with these two series. I want to shift to California because the best quarterback in the entire state of California got paid like it. And
Matt Stafford?
53. Yeah.
Stafford
No,
got an
Justin
extension?
Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Oh,
I'll say the best.
Brock Purdy. Brock
he had-
Purdy. I'm
he has-
sorry.
Irrelevant 53 million irrelevant reasons.
I
mean, so Ti, I'll ask you.
Okay.
As a Titans fan, you have your guys that you hope get paid. You have your expectations.
Mhm.
Sometimes when they sign, you're like, oh my gosh, they signed him for that. On the outside looking in, what
Well,
do
they
you
usually
think?
they give me a call first before they run the deal, so
Right.
I usually know ahead of time. So
That's
I'm,
why you have the number one
yeah,
pick, bro.
I'm the guy who makes the call. The call.
and it shows. So I'm curious what your take is on the outside looking in. What did you think when you first saw Brock Purdy? 53 is the number he ended up at.
So here's the deal. I think Brock Purdy earned his money. He's definitely earned his money. But San Francisco was also in a tough spot. Like it's kind of like, here we are. We got this kid. We believe in him. We think we believe in him.
What do we do with him? Yeah,
we have to give him a deal, or we go a completely different route. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's not a slam dunk by any means. It's just what needed to be done. So it's like. But with that being said, we've seen what he can do when you surround him with weapons and talent. So it's not like the kid can't throw a football and you're trying to make it work. That's like the kid can already prove he can throw a football and play football. It's just, oh, come on. What are you doing? It's a little thumbs up for. Yeah. How did it see it all the way down here?
That's what you think of his quarterbacking skills. Just give him a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I don't heart it.
Hey, Apple.
Put a thumbs up.
Do you have one for that one, Apple?
Yeah. So Miles has an interesting stat I know on Brock Purdy with getting paid.
So he was pick 252, and then he is now making 53 million a year. And I have to scroll back up. Adam, do you have that one handy on his stat?
Basically, per week he was making per year he was making
953.
Yeah, he's making that a week now.
I think a year, and now he's going to be making over $1 million a week. I think it was. Yeah, I had to get the calculator back out on this.
There's three things that he can do now. There's three things that he can do now. One, he can move out of his parents' basement, so he will do that. Two, he can now shop at Whole Foods. And three, he can afford all of the streaming services that are offered across the internet. So
Fisherman's Wharf, here he comes.
Fisherman's Wharf. Extra hush puppies for you, Brock. You earned it.
Yeah, a few extra.
Or
I mean, for the last guy drafted. Is that like, okay, let's take a moment here. We got Tom Brady, guys like this, but I don't know. And I'm trying to take myself, and I'm having you guys check me on this because I'm trying to not be a Homer Simpson.
So you want us to drive you off the cliff?
Yeah, but come on. Is this maybe the best?
Just walk them off the cliff.
Yeah, just run it. Run the limo. Run the limo off the cliff.
Run it.
Like Thelma and Louise. No, I mean, again, I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk.
No,
I'm just saying it is what had to be done. It's like, hey, thank you for what you've done. Here's your deal. Please continue to produce. We're going to do our best to give you weapons. But hey, if it doesn't work out in 2 years, it's the NFL. How many times have we seen people cut ties, cut their losses, and move on? So it is what it is. We will know. This time next year, we will know where he's headed. If he signs that deal and has a really subpar season, there's gonna be a lot of heat on him. So that's what it is. He wasn't a number one pick. He's Mr. Irrelevant. So there's a lot of leeway there on the Niners side. It's like they don't have this high. They have an investment in him now, but it's an investment he earned. It's not an investment that they've taken a risk on per se. So that's kind of my thing.
He's already delivered.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. Maybe as a Niners fan, I would probably be a little concerned just because I don't know how it's going to pan out, but it's better than half the other teams in the league. I mean,
right. That's where I'm at. You pretty much hit it, because that's where I'm like, well, he's at least top 15. There's not anyone hater can debate that. Like, just going off that, he is the single season leader for most passing yards. And by the way, he did it in 16 games, not 17. So Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jeff Garcia have not thrown in one season more yards than Brock Purdy. And he was the last guy drafted. Like, okay, come on. You got to pay him something. I just was curious what you guys thought as far as, was he more like 39 to 44, or is 53 the number, like, based on the other guys?
Yeah.
It's the Jared Goff. You're like, right, kind of.
It's not what you deserve or what you don't. It's just the measuring stick
where the number is. Yeah.
I mean,
for a quarterback that's been to a Super Bowl.
I mean, that bozo down in Jacksonville, you know.
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there. Goldilocks.
Complete. No, not him. I'm talking about their owner, Shad Khan or whatever.
Oh, well, but their quarterback, I'm saying.
He was the one who ruined the whole wide receiver market. He was the one that gave all
Christian
that money to
Christian Kirk.
And then overnight, you've got Justin Jefferson, you've got AJ Brown, you got all these guys that are like, hey, we want that money because we're
Brandon
better.
Ayuk.
Yeah, because we're better than that guy. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk. They all did it, and it was all because of that guy. So that's the thing. Once the measuring stick is there, it's like you know, when you're changing your oil, it's like put the dipstick in and pull it out. All right, here's your thing. This is where you're at. That's where the NFL's at. They look at the thing, they average it out, and they're like, we're going to have to pay this guy at least 49 to 52, and then they're going to put incentives, and then they're going to do this, and then they're going to be like, okay, well, if you make the Pro Bowl, or if you do this, or you win a playoff, you can be upwards of this. And they just find so many ways to pad it and cushion it. Like, it's I would love to see those dudes behind the scenes work, like try to work those deals. Like,
right.
They have to be like either the most determined group in the building or the smartest dudes in the building. You know, it's one or the other. You know,
you mentioned dipstick, and I want to talk to Miles real quick. So
come on, man, we just got him back on the episodes. Now you're just going to run him off again.
Oh, he ain't going anywhere. So Miles, before we move to baseball, I want to get you out of here on this with the NFL. Who leaves the organization first? Brock Purdy or Kyle Shanahan?
Kyle Shanahan.
It's a package deal.
No, that's enough about packages. We're over it. I'm over you with packages. Tim Duncan's not here.
Monday morning, man. I just woke up.
I think he becomes the Alex Smith that doesn't get injured. And I think with what have you done for me lately mindset now, not so much of players anymore, but more of coaches across the major sports, the coaches are far more vulnerable these days. And it only takes a couple of bad seasons. Even you splash in a couple of good ones in there with NFC championships, division championships, a season like this where you've got a layup of a schedule. My God, the Niners have a joke of a schedule, at least preseason. It looks that way. If he doesn't drive success this season and kind of
there's an
links
issue
to 9-10 wins next year, he could be out, because the expectation for the last decade plus in San Francisco is we still haven't won a championship since before the Dallas Cowboys. And his timeline is going to get shortened if by the end of next year they aren't at least back to the NFC Championship game. Brock Purdy with a 5-year deal worth $265, over $250 million, how irrelevant is that? It is going to be around, I think, longer than 5 years, barring some catastrophic injury. But I think Alex Smith, he is not on that front. But with what he provides in a steadiness for San Francisco, I think he's like Alex Smith in that way. So I think he's going to hang around longer than Shanahan.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I knew you'd have at least, even if it was a wrong answer, I'm not saying it would at least be.
That's kind of my thought. And now that I say this, it'll be Brock Purdy who leaves first.
Right. But it was well thought out. And so I can at least appreciate that. So I want to move. It just
Lipstick
hit me. Yeah. So it's been 33 minutes since we last talked about the Colorado Rockies, and it's just time, boys.
Hold on. I got a question though. What transpired since last time we talked about the Rockies? How many days went by? 7, right?
6.5, yeah. 7.
And they got to win. We said it. Each week they will get a
like
win.
Little Giants. We get in the yard.
And
we win.
We gained a yard.
I'm very proud of them. Like I said, if the Colorado Rockies were a football team, they would be doing really good right now. They would be doing really good.
8 wins early in the year. Yeah,
no, just
early in the year,
just
8 wins.
Week, just back to back wins. You know,
he said 8 wins early in the year.
Yeah, that's a big deal, man. It's a huge deal. But yeah, I'm just proud of the Rockies. You guys probably saw that picture of Dinger in the dugout, you know, with his head down.
He should start.
Or look like somebody had just
dinosaur
just
out
told
on the
him.
mound.
Yeah, somebody just told him that dinosaurs actually went extinct. You know, he was like, didn't know, thought he was just like a different kind of animal, and it was like, no, bro, your kind went extinct.
Dinosaurs went extinct though, so he lives on.
That's right.
So
I
tonight,
love you love me.
They got Kyle Freeland going tonight against the Phillies, who are 28-18 and in second place. And Kyle Freeland is 0-6. His ERA is 6.15. That's pretty much Colorado. He's 0-6. ERA over 6.
Baby.
He's got their best
shout
ERA.
Out to the 615.
He probably has their best ERA though. Is it, you know?
Right.
So there's no way they win though, because I mean they just won like yesterday. So I mean they're not going to win.
No,
games.
They lost 1-0. They lost 1-0 yesterday, a heartbreaker.
It feels just like yesterday that they won.
Just like, yeah. So here's a quick little synopsis.
It's like that scene from Titanic, you know. It's been 82 years.
They're in the bottom 5 of these following stats. We haven't really gone over this, and I just think it's time because we're having so much fun with this.
You could just put all the stats on a dartboard after this. You can just throw the dartboard at
this one out before I steal this because I got one for us after this.
All right. So runs per game at 3, runs given up 6. So they're averaging losing by 3 runs. Hits, they only have 7 hits a game while giving up over 10. Batting average, they're only batting 220. Slugging percentage, they're only slugging 365. Home runs, they only have 41. Stolen bases, they only have 21. Pitching, it gets worse. Their ERA overall as a team is 6. I mean, I have not seen numbers like this before.
Do they have
only
one-handed
6
pitchers?
Strikeouts. Yeah. No, one-handed. Jim Abbott is better than these guys. Are you high?
That's true. That's true.
No.
That's true. He could flip his glove back real quick and get the ball too.
Ks per 9 innings, 6. They only strike out 6 batters per game. I mean,
they're averaging losing by 3 runs every time they step on the field.
That is just. I mean, this takes the White Sox are like the Pope is proud of the White Sox at this point.
Coach is
compared to the.
Come on, guys, we got to get this average runs per loss up to at least 2.
One more thing. You saw yesterday that Scottie Scheffler won his first PGA championship. So in the last week, who has more wins, Scottie Scheffler or the Colorado Rockies? Are they tied?
They're tied.
And then wait a minute. Now, 2 weeks ago, Scottie Scheffler won here in McKinney, the PGA Tour tournament that weekend. So in the last 3 weeks, the Rockies have about the same amount of wins as Scottie Scheffler does.
All right. So
that's
last time we talked about how the Rockies could fix this. So again,
people are talking.
If their PR team is listening, cereal boxes.
We're here. We're here for it.
All right. Golden tickets, Willy Wonka style, all the cereal boxes across Colorado. You get to that first pitch. All right. You get to the first pitch.
Yeah, I gotta
be better talent in the state.
Gotta be
somewhere.
Be.
I got a good question for you here, T.I., because Rob Manfred, we're talking about, obviously Colorado is way out, but who could possibly be in people are asking. Well, I have the answer. Rob Manfred said that Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pistol Pete, not Pistol Pete. That's the wrong Pete. Pete Rose.
Pete Davidson?
Gambling Pete.
Yeah.
Pete
Good old
Davidson.
Gambling Pete.
Pete
Now,
Davidson.
I want to get your
tattoos removed.
Yeah, and doing Verizon commercials. Can you hear me now?
God, those commercials drive me insane. I'm like,
yeah, dude.
Bro, I'm all for you selling out, but man, I don't need like G-rated here.
Yeah.
You're like, give me a little
Pete.
like edge, like
Yeah.
what's going
Like,
on?
Unzip your pants. Do something that's horrendous.
Hey man, look, just
So,
because
you're about the package.
packages, but I didn't.
That's why I'm helping you out. You're the guy that needs to see it.
God,
So yeah,
man.
here's the question. Here's the
Now
question I
we're
want to
gonna
ask.
We're gonna get some weird comments.
Because Pete Rose said in an interview before he passed, "What good is it if I go in after? My family won't care."
Pete Rose
And Rob said that yes, it is for their family, and here's a deterrent. If you only make it in after you die, that should be a deterrent for you not to do the activity that would keep you out of the league. Like, you're not going to see the benefit while you're alive. You'll only know that when you die, someone from your family will go up and get you enshrined, and that should deter you. So that's what the commissioner of baseball said. This isn't me saying that. I'm just repeating his words to you, and I want to know what you think. And I want to get Miles' take because he's a Reds fan, but I want to start with you because you're, to be honest, just crazier than Miles. So,
well, I would probably preface this by, if I put 100 people in a room and asked them if they like the commissioner of the Major League Baseball, what would their answer be? The answer would probably be, who is this guy?
Yeah,
but
no one really knows who he is.
But for the, people, I guess, like, for just the sake of the argument, it's like, that's just him, like, covering his tracks there, him like cushioning the thing, because it's just been such a black eye on the league for however long. Like, sure, he gambled, sure, he did his
years.
thing. But let's move on. Everybody's moved on past the, Barry Bonds crap. We had Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa out here carrying the league while they're obviously taking banned substances, but the league's like, who cares? Nobody's watching baseball until these guys started doing this stuff. So let's just let them do their thing.
Because there was a strike.
So
they
came
back after the strike.
Yeah, so he's just saying stuff to just cushion the blow and not make him look like an idiot.
But are you for it?
Am I for Pete? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. He's a legend. It's not like we're out here like trying to induct some ref that shaved off some points into like the Basketball Hall of Fame. Like, it's Pete freaking Rose we're talking about here.
Tim Donaghy not entering anytime soon.
Yeah. This is Pete Rose, so that's my thing. Like, was it frowned upon? Yeah, but whatever, man. People gonna do what they're gonna do. It doesn't change the way that he played the game. Maybe a little bit, but
well, and let's point this out.
Moments,
he says he only bet on his team to win.
Yeah,
as if that makes it better. But I'm just saying. So, all right, Miles, you are a self-proclaimed, which I don't know why you would ever do this out loud, but a self-proclaimed Cincinnati Reds fan. So,
right.
When you saw this,
I'm not the one over here talking about packages, though. I know you're working hard to angle for that FedEx endorsement, though. Headquarters right down the road in Memphis. You got the orange glasses. You need like a purple hat, or get with the Rockies mascot.
Well, don't do that.
Well,
get the FedEx and Rockies behind you on that. So, anyways, with Pete Rose, come on, this is ridiculous. There's no evidence that he shaved point, or I think the biggest thing, if you're going to bet on your team, it's manipulating someone else from another squad to throw a game, which definitely could happen. Now, obviously, with Shoeless Joe Jackson, the biggest Shoeless Joe, they already talked about it in Field of Dreams. I think that was the biggest argument for that was already discussed back in the 80s. The fact that he hit over 300 in that series, who really knows? I wasn't there. T.I. might have been, but he was born in 1902, I believe. So who cares? Over 100 years, he did enough. everything else otherwise, again, where's the evidence? I don't know. Some exists. Was it everyone else? Was it him? We don't care. There weren't TVs to prove it. There were no interviews. There was no internet to track all this. Even with Pete Rose, maybe the same thing. But my biggest argument is I think every player, every major sport should be forced to bet on their team every game at a little incentive, because we want to stop these teams, especially like in the NBA, from tanking. Put your money up every game. Let's see teams tank. Let's see a team tank when every single player has to put up between 25 and 100 grand. It'd be a certain percentage off their stipend, their per diem, that they have to wage on their team to win. We're going to fix a lot of things. I think gambling, and I'll throw in steroids as well, actually make things better. We need more steroids. We need more gambling. Stop with this morality crap. It's idiotic. We need leagues that are willing to step up and are willing to be edgy like that. And for that, anyone that's against Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose being in the Hall of Fame, you are the idiot of the week. Didn't see that one coming, sinners and idiots, did you?
That's right. But you know what? If the Major League Baseball really wants to make a statement, and they really want to show that they have moved past it and they have embraced the past and the present, they should let Ohtani induct him into the Hall of Fame.
And it should be sponsored by DraftKings.
Yeah, exactly. And it should be like, well,
wait a minute, we're gonna let Japanese into the Hall of Fame now.
Just to do the award. Just to do the award.
If Suzuki.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Ichiro's American to us.
Iowa, Kawasaki. Because
Derailed
remember
again.
in Scary Movie 2 when they're doing the Grudge, and he's just like talking to the little dude, and they've got the transcript on the bottom. Yeah, he's going like Kawasaki, Iowa, Sony, and it's like on the bottom saying it too. Oh, it's just the best, And it's like Toshiba, and he like fades away. Oh man,
Those
I love
movies.
The first four. They're all great, but the first two are done by Wayans brothers, and then the Zucker brothers took over, who did like Naked Gun and Airplanes and all that. So it's different humor. Man, I love those movies, dude. I could watch them over and over. They're so stupid.
Yeah, we know that definitely you could watch them over and over.
As stupid as keeping them out of the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
There you go. So
that's right.
So basically, baseball,
shout out Spike Lee, shout out Reggie Miller, shout out New York City, and that's it.
But not Angel Reese, because she's from Chicago now.
Yeah.
And Mayday! Cover your brains, boys and girls. Put on your tinfoil hats, because this is Idiot of the Week.
All right, you idiots and sinners. It's your lucky Monday, because you get a double dose of double idiots. Besides those that don't want Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe in the Hall of Fame, there's someone out there that does want attention, but won't be getting the money. Angel Reese, we already talked about it. We already know what she's doing. She's trying to make herself relevant. She's trying to step up on the level of Caitlin Clark. Sorry it ain't working out, but for these jamokes back here, yep, that's right, the three of us, the WNBA is kind of working out, because as we talked about earlier, we've got the Twitter sphere. We got a post that shot up about 1.5 million views because of the WNBA. And now we've got a recent short, thanks to Caitlin Clark and really Angel Reese, helping us get a little bit more popular. Over 20,000 subscribers now, well on our way to 25,000, and just about as many views on that short. So thank you to the Idiot of the Week, Angel Reese, Chicago Sky, the Pope you are not. The Pope openly condemned. I actually got the video. Shows him condemning Angel Reese for her anecdotal activities and calling LeBron a loser. Really? Was that real? Is that real too? No, probably not. But Angel Reese, you're annoying. The WNBA is annoying. But I guess if you're going to make us someone relevant, we'll take it. We'll take it. So
be sure
Angel
to follow,
Reese,
right?
You're the idiot, but WNBA, Thanks, I guess.
Clickbait. There's all the clickbait. Click on the package.
Click on the package. That's right.
So
our
be
shorts,
sure to follow.
If you didn't hear, our shorts are doing well, and just check out our package and our shorts.
Eat your shorts. Yeah. Take off your pants
Mr.
and
FedEx.
jacket.
No, not in our shorts, and our shorts.
Oh, salute. You don't remember
and
salute
our
your shorts?
shorts, Adam. Get your mind out of the gutter. My God, dude.
Yeah, that's on me. That's totally on me and not on you at all. So be sure to follow Sports Idiot Nation wherever you get your social media. Also, click the link inside the description here for your opportunity for where me and Ti are sporting some gear. And also, yeah, we're going to have more football shirts coming. That's what I'm excited for. I want to talk through more ideas on all kinds of different NFL as we're really getting excited for the NFL upcoming season. So again, Sports Idiot Nation comes to you every Monday and Thursday, which means we will see you Thursday.
Go Knicks.
I guess.
Okay, all you sinners, follow Sports Idiot Nation on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Like us on Facebook, and remember, the most fun way to watch us is on YouTube every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be updated when new content drops. Remember, the podcast can also be found on the usual suspects of Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Always remember, don't be an idiot.
Sinner.